everyone, I am going to show you how we're going to make our radial name. So briefly on your classroom on Google, I talked about the different ways we have balance. We can have symmetrical balance where things are even on both sides. We can have asymmetrical balance where one side is maybe heavier or more interesting or active than the other side of an artwork. And then we can have radial balance. So remember, radial balance is where everything is centered around the circle, or excuse me, around the center, and then everything kind of evenly and equally radiates out. So you're going to make this, and this is with your name. And I'm going to show you the steps of how you get to this part. Okay, so first you're going to be using just a piece of paper. We have drawing paper that's thin so you can see through it, and you are going to have to cut this down to size. So you're just going to take one corner of it, fold it over to meet the other side of the paper. Make sure you are accurate in this fold. And then you are going to have to cut this piece off. So once you cut this off, you are going to end up with something that looks like this. If you fold it up, unfold it, it is a square, but it's going to look like this. Once you have your large triangle, you are going to have to fold it again, and then one more time. So you're going to make a smaller triangle, and once you open it up, you have 8 pieces. So after you make that cut, make sure you fold it once and then twice. So now we have 8 sections. So each of you should do this on their own. One person from every table is going to have to do another one of these, and then you can share this piece of paper with each other to make your template. So when you have this piece of paper, you're going to have to cut along the folded lines to end up with a triangle that looks like this. So make sure that you share with your table mates and others around you, because there are 8 sections, but you eventually need to get your own triangle. And on this triangle, we are going to write our name. The most important thing is that you have the tops and the bottoms of your letters need to touch the outside of this paper and need to go beyond that. So bubble letters or some sort of block lettering works really well. This is the one that I created. So I did my last name, and as you can see, the top of my M goes past the edge of the paper, my O and my S's do as well, and then the bottom of my letters are open to the bottom of the paper too. So I have this, and what you don't want would be this, where your letters are inside the paper and not touching the outside. So make sure you have something like this. Once your name is done, you can take a black marker, the Sharpies or the Crayola colored markers, and you do need to outline your name in marker. This paper is thin, but just make sure that you can also see it on the other side. So if you want to outline your name with black marker on the other side, you can do that as well. So once you have your template, you're going to grab your folded paper, and we are going to begin to trace our template onto our folded paper. So how that works is just make sure you line it up on the outside, just to make sure that it's the same size and we're good to go. You're going to take your template, because we're going to work on this triangle, and you're going to place it underneath. So line it up again so the template is perfectly matched. And then you're going to press down. You should be able to see my name a little bit. And you're going to use a pencil to outline your template. So try to do it as accurately as you can. So make sure you take your time and you are tracing your template. Okay, now that I have my name down once, I'm going to take my template out, replace it, and then this is the next tricky part of making sure that you do this correctly. You want to flip your template over. By flipping it, you see that my M over here matches up with my M, my O, and my two S's. If you were to take your template in the original spot and rotate it, you see that the letters are now opposite of each other. So take from the original position, flip it over, you're going to place it back underneath. Make sure everything is lined up. You can see that my M is lining up, my O and my S's. And then you're going to trace again your template lines onto your paper. So the most important thing is that since we made that our template, the letters touch the outsides of our paper, you'll see that the lines on both sides and the names are open to each other to start making a design. So you would take that out, replace it. That's how we drew it, and then we're going to flip it downwards, place it underneath, and trace it again. Once you have this done, it should look like something like this. I've started to outline and color mine so far, but everything should match. It should be the same all the way around, and you see that we start forming a pattern. So once you have your pattern, you are going to use a black marker. You could use a different color. Black works really well though to really pop out the colors. And you're just going to begin to trace nicely over your pencil marks. So first go around and do your whole name on each triangle, and then you're going to color it. I would say try to stick to about 5 different colors. You can also use black as an additional color. As you can see in mine, I use black to blacken out some of the spaces to make the design a little bit more interesting. And then I use 5 colors. Yellow be my background color, and the rest inside the names. When you color, you just want to make sure that the same color is on the same letter. So as you can see where my M's were, they are all that purple color. The O is connected all the way through and it's all green. The first S is a red-orange color, and the second S is a really light periwinkle violet color. So just make sure that when you go around, every letter is the same color. And then also just make sure that you color in the same direction. That way we don't have tons of streaks. So if you're working on your letter, just make sure that you move in the same direction with your markers. We have Crayola markers. I have the fat ones and then also the thin markers out for you. I also have some Sharpies for you to use as well. So just go around, make sure every letter of the same letter is the same color. Fill in with either color, or you can use some black to fill in and make some interesting designs. And this is going to be your radial name.